We were transformed into a podcast by nuclear goo. It's Harmless Phosphorescence. Everyone, this is Wayne Gretzky on steroids, Thoreau Smiley, and I am joined by...
I'm Josh Cece, and I'm a middle-aged mutant ninja turtle.
I'm Brian Lesh. Forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
I'm Chico, and that was my same line.
Oh, man! First episode! Fuck you, Brian.
Cowbunga.
You even stole that, the safety. Wow. If nothing else, we have cowbunga.
I'm Alaric Weber, and my domain is the Shadow.
And you may all have noticed we got a new voice. Mr. Michael Chico's joined us this week. Hello.
Hey.
That's me.
Yes, Chico is here. We watched this week's movie with us. This is Harmless Phosphorescence, a podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, and then we tell you all about it. This week we are watching 1990's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Our family grows. The city itself will be our playground to use as we please, rewarding ourselves and punishing our enemies.
We've been looking for you, Miss O'Neill.
There is a new enemy, freaks of nature. Together, we will punish these creatures.
What the heck was that?
Looked like sort of a big turtle in a trench coat.
Awesome!
Excellent!
Yeah! I love being a turtle!
Don't we all? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a Half Shell. 1990, released March 30th. With a running time of 93 minutes, a budget of $13.5 million. It did $202 million at the box office.
Wow.
It was a bona fide hit.
Wow. 1990.
I read that this was the highest grossing independent film of all time.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Blair Witch. Well, it was the most profitable.
Okay.
Not the highest grossing, because Blair Witch Project made a lot more, but they spent a lot more on marketing.
Oh.
Even though the movie itself was far cheaper.
Curious.
Yeah. So, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they started off in a comic. We got some background on that, Al?
We do. And everybody feel free to jump in, because I'm sure you like to do that.
Got passive aggressive.
Yeah. You got something to say, Al?
So welcoming at first.
No, actually, what I was trying to say is I'm sure you guys know a thing or two that I didn't write down. So the comics were
Thanks for the confidence.
The comics were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, published by Mirage Studios, which was also created by Eastman and Laird. The company was called Mirage because there was no actual company.
It's a double entendre.
Yeah.
Other titles that Mirage would go on to produce would be Usagi Yojimbo.
Usagi Yojimbo.
Usagi. Oh, yes.
Oh, was that
Usagi
the rabbit?
Yojimbo,
The rabbit.
yes.
Yeah. Stan Saki.
And
Sakai.
the Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa by Ryan Brown.
I can remember the cover. I don't know that I ever looked through that book.
But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was their first title. The first issue of the Turtles came out in May 1984. The comic inspired 5 television shows, 6 movies, several video games, and a plethora of toys and merchandising.
Also some birthday cakes for me.
Birthday cakes, yeah.
Yes.
And the ice cream
from the ice
the popsicle.
Oh,
the-
yeah,
those-
yeah.
It's got the turtle's head and like the gumballs for eyes.
Yes, there's
Yeah.
always like a
Those
ball,
haunt
yeah.
my dreams.
Those, like the
Right,
Pac-Man ghost ones,
Yeah,
too, yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Or later on, Dora the
Terrible
Explorer.
tasting.
No, I had a
With
kid
the dead
around the time Dora was popular. All right, I was eating Dora popsicles. Leave me alone.
I drove around town looking.
When I couldn't find any. I ate Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same. During an evening of casual brainstorming,
Casual
brainstorming, yeah, it
Drugs.
wasn't an
So that
official thing.
Raw in your face
AKA.
brainstorming.
Eastman produced a drawing of a turtle with nunchaku. I guess that's how they
That's plural.
pluralize it.
But sure.
Yeah. Laird suggested they create a team of 4 turtles, each with different weapons. They appreciated the humor of a slow-moving creature that knew a swift-moving martial art, such as ninjutsu.
They were kind of trying to entertain each other. Right?
Yeah.
That's the way I'd heard, just goofing off.
Yeah.
Casual brainstorming.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, as it's known in the business.
Not ranked competitive brainstorming.
So, using money from a tax refund and a loan from Eastman's uncle, they formed Mirage Studios and self-produced a single issue. This first issue was a pastiche of 4 popular comics that they really liked. New Mutants, which featured teenage mutants, Cerebus, which featured anthropomorphic animals, and Ronin and Daredevil, where we see a lot of ninja clans in the New York City underworld. The story itself had direct allusions to Daredevil. The origin of the Turtles, there was a traffic accident with a blind man, a truck carrying radioactive ooze.
Wait, so they were created by Daredevil, essentially?
Well, there is a I believe it was in this first issue, Splinter actually said he saw the canister strike a young boy. So
Oh, by the same accident that created Daredevil.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
may or may not.
Splinter's name.
Splinter's name is a correlation to Stick, Daredevil's mentor,
Yeah.
Okay.
and the foot is a correlation to the hand,
Yeah.
which is the
Yes.
the ninja clan.
It is connected to the knee bone.
Hand is to foot. As hand is to head.
They thought of giving the turtles
No, it's
Japanese.
not.
I know. Well, I'll wait a second.
They thought of giving the turtles Japanese names, but they couldn't think of any off the top of their heads that were convincing, so they went with Renaissance painters, with which they were much more familiar.
Great move.
Yeah, great.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
so
think
much.
of one Japanese name. Just off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah.
Ichiro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Al.
Toshiro Mifune, I guess. Yeah, he was an actor.
The first issue had a print run of
Gojira?
only 3,275 copies. It was black and white in an oversized magazine format on cheap newsprint. It achieved cult success because of the limited run and its popularity. That first issue, the trading price went up by like 50 times the cover price within a few months. It was a hot commodity. Several parody books came out, including adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters trying to capitalize on the success. The cartoon show
Yes.
came out. Actually, Playmates Toys was approached with a toy deal. They requested that a television deal be acquired first
Right.
because they weren't sure about the
Yeah, about the viability of selling the toys.
exactly. Because
Yeah, and they needed to come up with a bunch of villains and to
Right.
sell and justify why. Yeah.
So the 5-episode pilot mini series aired the week of December 28th.
The saga.
Yeah, the miniseries.
What? Roots.
Yeah.
Lonesome Dove.
An incredible 5-night event.
And all of this out of some competitive, non-competitive brainstorming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Came out the week of December 28th, 1987, produced by Murakami, Wolf, and Swenson Production Company.
I love their work.
Yeah.
Playmates Toys released their first series of action figures in the summer of 1988, and the show started its first full season of Saturday morning syndication, October 1988.
And 12-year-old Thoreau was really interested in yellow jumpsuits all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
I thought that's what reporters wore.
Tom Brokaw.
Exactly. Why isn't Dan Rather in his jumpsuit?
Reporting live from the wall in my yellow jumpsuit.
It leaves nothing to the imagination.
This is Tom Brokaw.
This version of the show lasted 10 seasons from 1987 to 1996 with 193 episodes.
I had no idea it went that long.
Me neither.
That's no joke.
I definitely only watched the first few seasons.
Yeah. Wow. I outgrew that show.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
If it was on for 10 years,
We
yeah.
all did, but yeah.
And I never really started any of the other shows. They're
I still.
Sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I still did this day though. So it was just once in a while I catch myself saying the turtles.
Turtles. Those voices are great.
Rocksteady and Bebop.
Yeah.
Chico, do you remember the cartoon first? The comic?
The movie, I remember the movie first.
The movie first?
Yeah. I was like 1 when this came out. So I was born in 89.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah. So I think there was like maybe 2 or 3 movies that I remember. And
Yeah.
it was, Turtles, Bill and Ted 1 and 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Those are on repeat at my house. So
Nice.
That's that's a good lineup there.
Oh, yeah.
So the movie, it was as I said, came out March 30th, 1990, and Baby Chico
Yeah.
saw it at the time.
That's me.
It was directed by Steve Barron, who was an assistant cameraman on Superman.
Huh.
And then he directed Electric Dreams, that's the movie where a computer comes to life and tries to steal a guy's girlfriend.
Jesus.
It was in the 80s too, so it was like all in DOS.
Yeah. They were still so confused about what
What
it
a
could
computer-
and could not do.
Right.
Weird Science is a great example of
yeah,
that.
no, he like spills a soda on it and it like comes to life and starts telling him how to win a lady, but then the computer falls in love with the girl that he's dating.
Spilling shit on keyboards was the go-to mishap.
He also directed Coneheads.
He also directed a ton of music videos.
Yes.
The list includes Adam and the Ants, Sheena Easton, Simple Minds, Toto, including Africa and Rosanna, Thomas Dolby, She Blinded Me with Science, Kenny Loggins, Eddie Grant, Electric Avenue, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, Tears for Fears, Rod Stewart, Bryan Adams, Styx, The Human League, Culture Club, ZZ Top, Aha, yes, Take On Me was Steve Barron, Dire Straits, Money for Nothing, Don Henley, Supertramp, David Bowie, Paul McCartney, Heart, Natalie Cole, and Def Leppard.
And he also directed a couple videos for Modern Romance, which was featured instrumentalist John Duprez, who did the soundtrack who did the score for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as well as Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, Oxford Blues, Once Bitten, all the other 2 turtle
He's
movies.
the composer, you said?
He's the composer, yeah.
Dupree?
Yeah. A Fish Called Wanda and UHF.
I swear
UHF.
that some of the music from this is the same music from Fish Called Wanda.
I mean, it's the same composer, very...
I love that movie. And I was like watching this today and then saw that in your notes. And I just thought like, it sounds just like the Fish Called Wanda soundtrack.
Yeah,
it was weird.
I also love that movie, but interesting.
Like heist music.
And Monty Python's The Meaning of Life.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
He scored that.
Well, and he has some writing credits on a few Monty Python songs too.
Really?
Yeah, like
Really?
The Universe song.
Yeah.
He's got a writing credit
Galaxy
on.
song?
Galaxy song, yeah. He's got a writing credit on that.
What's his name again?
John Duprez.
Okay.
And he was
Dupree.
in Modern Romance, which was a new wave band in the early 80s. let's see. Screenplay was by Todd W. Langen, who mostly just wrote for the Wonder Years, as far as I can ascertain.
Interesting.
So this was a dark turn for him.
Yeah.
Going down in the sewers.
We're going to the alleyways.
He also had writing credit shared with Bobby Herbeck, who mostly was an actor in sitcoms throughout the 70s and 80s. He was in MASH, Chips, Different Strokes, The Jeffersons. Then he also wrote Wrongfully Accused and a bunch of stuff for Small Wonder.
Oh my God, Small Wonder.
Yes.
Damn, I love that show.
Lovely and bright with soft curls.
Yeah.
The script based mainly on the early Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, including the stories of the Turtles' origins, rooftop battle, sojourn to the farmhouse, and a battle with Shredder. Elements were taken from the 80s animated series, such as the bandanas, the love of pizza, and elements of Michelangelo's character, the surfer dudeness. And, of course, April O'Neil was from the cartoon original. She was not in the original comic.
And Shredder was actually killed. They killed Shredder in the first issue because they didn't know if they'd make a second one or not. So, yeah, they ousted the villain right away.
April O'Neil showed up in the comics, right? But she wasn't a reporter. She was like a scientist.
Oh, she was a scientist.
She was a
That's
lab
right.
assistant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Because
as
Casey Jones is
that's in my
also
notes,
in the comics.
Yeah.
The Turtles' suits themselves were created by Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Steve Barron he directed 3 episodes of The Storyteller by Jim Henson.
Jim Henson, yeah.
And that's how he got Jim Henson to help out.
Those suits are incredibly complex.
They look
they
really cool.
Did you anybody watch how they do it? How they've got the puppeteers with one hand controlling the mouth and the other one controlling the head kind of movement. It was really interesting.
They were incredibly impressive, I think, for 1990.
Very
and
much.
Splinter was all puppet.
Splinter looked so good.
Yeah, it looked great.
Yeah,
It looked great.
He was the most
Muppet.
advanced puppet out of all of them by far.
Yeah.
Jim Henson himself said that the creatures were the most advanced he had ever worked with.
Yeah, I mean they were like radio technology. They were radio controlled,
right?
On the faces of the actors, and there's some cool shots of the actors just without them on, without the heads on, and you can see inside the helmet, and it is just wiring harnesses. It looks like something out of Star Wars. It's really, really fucking cool.
That must have been so intense.
Yeah. It was interesting. They must have been really heavy and hot, and had a bunch of stuff going on inside. Also, they sweat so much.
Yeah. I bet. Oh God, I can imagine.
Who was it that played the voice? Was it Raphael?
John Pais.
He was both the voice and the physical actor.
Oh, okay.
He said that as they were filming every day, that the suit would gain 30 pounds and just the weight of sweat.
Ugh.
Just damn, that's rough. That's rough. You're
I
just
bet they were a nightmare.
a couple more hours. You're like, no, it's just getting heavier. I want to die.
But, I mean,
It's for the kids.
it's better than any mocap they could do.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you know what I
Oh,
mean?
my God,
those characters existed in real space.
I
you
mean,
saw the light and shadows all over them.
They would look great in Star Wars.
Yeah,
you
they
could just
would.
trot them out, skateboards and all, in Star Wars, and have them eat pizza,
Yes,
and
you
I'd be
could.
like,
I
"Holy
agree with
shit!
that.
They are aliens from outer space.
What are the
Where did they
turtles
come
doing?
from?" Yeah,
George Lucas.
Yeah, Splinter especially. I was thinking I'm so glad he's not CGI.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, he looks better than Yoda.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not 900 years old. This movie starred Judith Hogue as April O'Neil. She was in Cadillac Man.
But this was her first thing, right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She went on to star in Cadillac Man, Armageddon, Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. I'm number 4. We'll see her again in Hitchcock. She
Go ahead.
she had a cameo in the 2016 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And she also apparently did at least one episode of every single hour-long drama ever since 1985.
So she starred in Cadillac Man with Robin Williams, who was a big fan of the Turtles franchise, and Robin Williams helped her out with her character by showing her a bunch of his comic books.
Ah, interesting.
Nice.
She did not return to reprise the role of April O'Neil in TMNT 2: Secret of the Ooze.
Apparently, there was too much complaining
From her?
Yeah.
About the ooze?
I think about the short production schedule, just how fast it was, and just every other little thing. I don't know what exactly she was complaining about.
We'll get on that now. we'll get an update from you. Oh, and by the way, I just remembered. So in the previous episode, I said that Toxie 3 was our first movie from the 90s. It was not. It was released November 6, 1989. This is our first 1990s film released in the decade of the 1990s.
Yeah, boo, Toxie 3, go back to the 80s. Boo.
Where you belong.
Bad Toxie 3.
Judith Hogue would also do some guest spots on Young Riders, Quantum Leap, and The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
Oh, man. I forgot about that show.
Never forget the brisk. Elias Codius.
Is that a hashtag?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hashtag don't forget the brisk.
Yeah, can you guys get that trending out there?
That's brisk
right now.
Everybody tweet that at tweet it at Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris. Yeah, he'll get it viral.
Elias Koteas played Casey Jones. He was in Some Kind of Wonderful, Tucker, A Man in His Dream, Look Who's Talking 2, Gattaca, Apt Pupil, Thin Red Line, Zodiac, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Shutter Island. He had a lengthy stint on The Sopranos, and is in the Chicagoverse now. That the Chicago PD, Chicago Med, Chicago Fire Department thing that's all on like CBS or ABC or something.
Wait, that's connected?
They've got like 3 or 4 shows that are all based in Chicago, and they occasionally will have like a DC style, they'll all interact together and have a crossover episode.
I gotta go to the hospital. I'll be right back. I'm going to Chicago General.
Yeah, exactly.
From this fire.
The Chicagoverse.
How are that guy? Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, they look awful.
I wonder if
I occasionally run across them like flipping channels. I'm like, nope.
They probably make more money that way.
Oh God, they make.
If you like one thing and then you get hooked on the second thing, you're like, fuck, I gotta watch.
Well, that's how NCI happened, right?
I gotta watch when the cops go to the hospital.
There's like 40 of those.
Yeah. Well, no, there's every 60-year-old woman on earth watches these, I'm sure.
This weekend, the hospital's gonna catch on fire.
No, that happened. No. There was an episode where no, I saw a commercial. There was an episode where there was like a terrorist or something, and so the police were there, and then they had to shoot the terrorist, and then it went to the like the medical side, and the medical people took the terrorist away, and then other terrorists showed up at the hospital, and it got on fire, and the fire department had to come to the hospital. Wow. So they had this big Chicago is a wasteland. Don't go there.
I think I saw this South Park episode, right, with Mexican Joker. Is this the one?
Wow, the Chicagoverse.
Wow,
so, yeah. Brian Tochi starred as Leonardo, the voice of Leonardo anyways. He was in the Omega Man, the Revenge of the Nerds franchise, Police Academy 3 and 4.
Oh, all right.
In The Player, he played himself.
Was he a notable guy in the Revenge of the Nerd movies? Like one of the...
He was one of the new recruits.
Okay.
He
in both?
Well, I mean in 3. 3 was the new recruits. 4, the recruits weren't new anymore.
No, Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, Revenge of the Nerds. I was thinking Police Academy. He was
the Asian.
Yeah, it's the token Asian guy.
The Asian guy. Yeah.
Same thing in Police Academy.
You both said that disappointing.
Well, it's like you
didn't want to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I looked him up, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So yeah,
his name was less pronounceable than Booger.
Yeah.
So he spent some time in Tucson here then.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I've got some notables. He was in Static Shock, 7 episodes. Johnny Bravo, Batman Beyond, Star Trek: The Next Generation, and Star Trek: The Original Series.
Brian Tochi was in the original series?
Yeah.
He must have been tiny. Like very young.
Yeah.
Because young people are smaller than...
Yeah.
They expand
we
like
started
this.
out like, yeah.
So the
sponges.
We grow like dinosaur sponges. Yeah.
If you get a sweat, yeah.
The original series episode he was in was "And the Children Shall Lead," so maybe he was a child.
There we go.
I would think so.
He was Ray. That's his character.
He also was a hyena in The Lion King. He was in Starship Troopers, Fight Club.
Wait, he was a hyena in The Lion King?
Yep.
Like with Whoopi Goldberg and
Cheech
Marin.
Yeah.
He was the third.
He was the third hyena.
Holy crap. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great company.
It is.
He was in Fight Club and Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Mr. Corey Feldman starred as Donatello. You may remember him from the Coreys.
Yeah, you may remember him from existing.
Yes.
Yep. Television performance of his band.
Oh, wow! Remember that?
That was something.
That was on a show, right?
That was like the Today Show or something?
Yeah, one of the morning shows, not Letterman.
Hey,
or
Corey,
anything.
we know you're out there, bro. We feel for you, man.
Sedation. We love you, Corey.
Yeah, Hollywood's fucked up.
Don't ever stop wearing that rhinestone glove, brother. Don't let him tell you.
So he was in The Fox and the Hound, Friday the 13th, 4 and 5. He survived 4. Goonies, Stand By Me, The Lost Boys, License to Drive, The Burbs, and Dream a Little Dream. That's a great list of movies.
We may remember him from The Gremlins in 1984.
That's right.
He did the voice of Slash in 12 episodes of the
Guns N' Roses.
The Adventures of.
Well, he was a villain based on Guns N' Roses. No, but in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon that was between 2012 2017. I don't know if it's still going. So he was in The Lost Boys as Edgar Frog. He was also in 2008 Lost Boys of the Tribe and 2010 Lost Boys The Thirst as the same character.
And
The thirst for more money.
Yeah.
well, and no, because I remember when they were making those, he and Corey Haim had a reality show together where they were trying to get the Lost Boys sequels made. It was a really depressing show because Corey Haim died shortly afterwards.
That was right when he died, right?
Yeah, he died shortly after, and he was not in good shape during that show.
Yeah.
He was in one episode of Cheers in 1983 as Moose. He was not in an episode with Woody Harrelson. This was the episode Manager Coach. He was on a baseball team that Coach was managing.
I remember that episode.
The softball team.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember him in it too because I watched
remember
it
that,
like 10 years ago. I caught it and I was like, "Is that Corey Feldman?"
And
Was it like a big deal that he was on it?
No, it was like before he was known, really.
he was tiny. Yeah.
Yeah,
And this was
He
right
was a
before
very small person.
the year before Gremlins.
because people
He was a
start
very
small.
See, when we're first born,
I'm learning so much about humans.
we're tinier.
They grow through time.
Yeah.
And
deep.
You borrow one of my kids, bro. I'll send one over here.
I don't want one of those things to grow through time over here, man.
Listen, they seen some shit.
You don't even want to know what's going on at Chico's
They'll
house.
show you some things.
We're raising kids up in this.
Just put them on Grand Theft Auto and, get them some popcorn. I don't have kids, you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Just me and Chico.
what are they like?
Hey, man.
Parent life. Hashtag.
Right?
I'll just put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on a loop. That's what my mom did.
we're gonna
I was raised by the TV for show.
we're gonna see Corey Feldman again in Citizen Toxie, the Toxic Avenger.
Holy shit!
Part 4.
They got some star power
And yeah.
in the year 2000.
In the year 2000, he plays
2000.
he plays Sarah's gynecologist.
Oh no!
Oh, gross.
Wait, no.
Wait,
sorry.
not Claire?
Not Claire.
Sarah.
So Sarah's back.
So he's back, or is
Back
it
again?
Or is it another chick who also happens to be named Sarah?
Who
We'll
is
find
also
out.
blind and with a lot of crotch power.
Yeah. I think her crotch is fine. We all saw it. We're all her gynecologists.
At this point, she gets a clean bill of health.
I don't know about that, bro.
She does fuck.
I'm not
Toxic.
convinced.
In Citizen Toxie, Corey is credited as Kinky Finkelstein.
Oh man, he used a nom de plume.
Finkelstein.
All right, so John Pais starred as Raphael. He was also in Scream 3, Sex and the City, The Station Agent. I'm not going to say the Schenectady, New York.
Schenectady.
Not is
Well,
it Schenectady? No. There's Schenectady.
Schenectady is a town.
Synodoche.
Oh.
Yeah, the Charlie Kaufman movie.
Yeah, Kaufman.
Schenectady is a city.
Synodoche.
Synodoche.
Roy Donovan, and we will meet him again in The Joker.
I just want to say he's the only one who wears the thing, right?
Yeah, he's the only one who did the voice and was the actor.
I feel like maybe they told him that everyone else that he was acting with was also doing the voices.
And then someone's head came off and he was like, "You're not fucking Corey Feldman."
Yeah.
That's why he came across so angry.
I was watching some stuff on YouTube about this video or about this movie because that's what I do. I just do some YouTube research, light skimming of the internet, you guys.
Yeah.
It's valid.
The other guy who was with him seemed so happy to be there and was like, yeah, being a Ninja Turtle is this. I was like, oh shit, he is just a guy who was dancing around like a Ninja Turtle. He thinks he is the voice of this Ninja Turtle. Oh, that's so rough.
Oh, they didn't tell him.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's like going back and rewatching it. I think that was what was going on too. Because I think that's why some of the animatronic stuff doesn't hold up the same way.
Yeah.
Too. So, I don't know.
Oh, and some of the voices are mixed around sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, they get him wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so I don't know if any of that was like in like a development. Somebody was like, we got to get Corey Feldman on this movie. These guys are terrible. But that might have happened to this movie.
I mean, they might have been looking for a name.
Yeah.
When they got a name, and Robbie Rist is Michelangelo, who was cousin.
I'm sorry, the guy before that, Raphael, he's also the cab driver in that scene.
Oh, that's
he's
him?
Like, looks like a giant turtle. So you're going to LaGuardia? You know, it makes the joke.
Huh. Oh.
That's Raphael.
Huh. Who is he in Joker?
I don't know.
He was Robert De Niro.
Is he the cop?
I didn't look it up.
Oh, well.
But I think, wait, no, after looking at him, I'm pretty sure he was a cop.
Oh, okay.
One of the cops, yeah.
That makes sense.
Robbie Rist was Michelangelo, who is cousin Oliver from the Brady Bunch.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wow.
I am not kidding you.
Yeah, it would be a weird thing to lie about. I'll give you that.
He's also did voice in Balto. He was in Batman, the animated series. He was in Iron Eagle.
Wow.
Sharknado, and a ton of anime and video games.
Sweet.
He was the voice of Mondo Gecko in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, the most recent one, for 5 episodes.
I remember that figure.
He did the voice of Michelangelo in a Casey Jones short film in 2011.
Whoa.
And they're
directed by Casey Jones.
Right, he made it, or it was about him?
I don't know.
Well, I assume he didn't make it. He's a fictional character.
Well, it could have been.
There was also apparently a Revenge of the Nerds TV short in 1991 where Robbie Rist played Booger.
Oh, wow.
Because that guy was like, no.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
Booger said no. No one knows his real name. He's just Booger.
He's in. Yeah. He's better off dead as well.
If you're not going to be Booger, then what are you doing? Like, Kevin Clash starred as Splinter. You may know him best as Elmo from Sesame Street.
And for a long time, he had Elmo on lock.
Yeah.
He was the only person who could play Elmo.
Well,
and then he had a sex
they could do
scandal,
the voice.
actually.
No, he had a sex scandal, but then he was exonerated from that.
Yeah.
By the other Muppets.
Yeah,
they
the Muppet Court.
testified.
They did a Muppet sting. But yeah, no, he had
Somebody's
exclusive
getting
rights to the
arrested
voice.
today.
So I worked at a museum and they brought an Elmo in, and Elmo couldn't talk. Elmo wasn't allowed to say anything. Elmo wasn't allowed to be like, "Hi kids, I'm Elmo." It was just Elmo being like
on the TL.
Waving his arms
silent. Yeah, waving his arms around.
Why
Kind of
couldn't he
fucking
speak?
Because not Kevin Conroy,
Clash.
Kevin Clash had the complete rights over the voice of Elmo.
What?
He didn't own the likeness, but he owned the voice, which is so interesting. And I think that got all fucked up when he got all
He had
in
that
this
thing. Yeah.
scandal thing. But
Crazy they let him do that.
But yeah, it was really interesting. So we do like breakfast with Elmo at the museum, and Elmo would just stand there and do nothing, and I'd be like playing music. This is so fucking weird. It's great. Go support your local museums.
Local
have
Elmo.
breakfast with Elmo.
Support your local Elmo. He did voices in Labyrinth. He was the baby in Dinosaurs, not the mama. He did some voices in Jumanji, and most recently, he was in the new Netflix Dark Crystal series. He plays Agra.
That's cool.
No offense to Kevin Clash, but
He's gonna bust down that door, Al.
Yeah.
Elmo
No, I'd
is
say offense.
Elmo is my least favorite Muppet of all time.
I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna
hell
bust
yeah.
out a great Elmo
Al,
voice. I was
Al,
like, oh shit.
I
here
would
it
like to
comes.
ask, do you know Little Miss Abby Kazabby?
Oh, right. She's
Abby
newer.
Cadabby?
No, probably not.
Yeah, that's right.
Even
Because you
worse.
don't have kids, motherfucker. Elmo is old news when it comes to annoying.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Abby Cadabby sounds terrible.
No.
She's a fairy and she has a wand.
Does she dab all the time? Is she just like, Abby Dab, I'm out. Later, Elmo.
You know nothing of
Later,
Yo Gabba
chumps.
Gabba.
Oh,
Sequel,
have you even seen Paw Patrol?
Listen, PJ Masks,
No.
forget about it.
Does anyone remember?
Baby shark.
But I appreciated Oscar the Grouch's sentiment. He called Elmo the Red Menace.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I like that.
That fits. Fuck. Does anybody remember that Office episode where James Spader like breaks down the Sesame Street?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's great because he talks about Sesame Street and how informative and influential it was on kids, and then he gets to Elmo and he's like, and Elmo's the perfect example of children now, self-absorbed, screechy, wanting attention, and it's like, wow, yeah, that's pretty accurate, James Spader.
The head thug of the Foot Clan, the boys, not not Shredder's main henchman, but the main boy thug.
They were inductees into the Foot Clan.
Yeah. They weren't
There's a
in the
commencement
Foot Clan.
ceremony.
They were all there for the announcement in the arcade.
Yes.
You know.
So yeah,
The one who had the most lines apart from Danny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kid. He was Sam Rockwell, who you may know from Lawn Dogs, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, Matchstick Men. He played Zaphod Beeblebrox in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie. He was in Moon, Seven Psychopaths, Green Mile, Galaxy Quest, Frost Nixon, Iron Man
good in
2.
Galaxy Quest. That was the first time I saw him, and just amazing as Guy.
Yes. Yeah. He was so good.
So good.
Skeet Ulrich and Scott Wolf were in the Foot Clan too. They were boys there in the background.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Uncredited.
That's awesome.
That's about it.
Yeah.
James Saito played Shredder, and he has a long list of martial arts films. And most recently, he was in an episode of Iron Fist. In the Marvel Universe. He was on an episode of Star Trek Voyager. Way back in the day, he was on The Greatest American Hero for one episode and The Incredible Hulk.
And in Donatello is an actor named Ernie Reyes Jr. You guys know him or heard of him? He was also a martial arts star at the time, but younger. I think he was even maybe a late teen, but yeah. He was in like Three Ninjas.
Three Ninjas Kick Back.
That's the second one, right?
Yeah.
He was probably in that too.
This movie, when it was released, got not when it was released. This movie is currently sitting at 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. So not great, but not.
I don't know if I agree with that entirely. If that were,
I think it's perfectly fine. It's a perfectly cromulent movie.
cromulent,
Yeah,
indeed.
it's well made.
Yeah. And it was reviewed by Mr. Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert.
I love being a turtle!
I don't know what all the excitement is about. The four turtles have mostly interchangeable characters. They set about their boring task of conquering dull villains. The turtles talk like surfers, guzzle pizza, and pay only lip service to ninja teachings. I suppose they pay only lip service if turtles have lips. I didn't like the picture, and I hope this isn't a case of kids just settling for something familiar. I think it is. The movies ought to be a much more magical experience than this. That's why I hate those countless product plugs. Why have kids be reminded of the world in which they spend all of their days?
Yeah, and why would a pizza company want to advertise that it's the pizza preferred by turtles who live in sewers? That's an interesting plug. I was also interested in the high level of your criticism when you pointed out that these turtles only pay lip service to ninja teachings. I suppose you would have liked it better if it had been a more devout and religious film.
Well, if somehow, I'm looking for something there for kids. If the kid, like the Karate Kid film, at least there's a suggestion of some kind of altruistic behavior.
What you have here is marketing carried to the ultimate degree. Now, you mentioned the Saturday morning TV show. You didn't mention the Nintendo game, which is one of the top-selling Nintendo games in the country, and I played it for our Christmas gift guide last December until it drove me crazy. These little turtles running around and doing their flip-flops. And actually, the visuals in this movie look a lot like not only the TV show, but also like the video game. And so kids have already been brainwashed to the point where they've got to see this movie. That's why it opened so strongly. They had to be taken to see this movie. And I guess they liked it. I don't know. Maybe they're not that critical when they're 5 years old. But you're right. It's kind of a dark, brooding, kind of depressing-looking movie. And even though I admired the set decoration, I thought they did a good job of making those sewers, it didn't have the bright and bouncy feeling that you'd like to think that kids would enjoy when they're that age.
I don't know what the appeal is. When I sat there, I knew it was a big phenomenon. I couldn't figure it out. I think it is just what you said, marketing. In other words, they want to see the turtles because they've seen the turtles on the tube and in the thing, and so they have to see the turtles.
It beats me. When we come back, Crybaby, starring Johnny Depp in a John Waters tribute to the dawn of the age of rock and roll.
I always love what's coming up next.
I know, that's the best.
They're like, where two guys trade places.
Yeah. Says Glenn Eweard also did not enjoy that film.
He's like, I appreciate the sewer set direction and how gritty that looked, but it wasn't bright and bubbly enough for me.
I was a kid during that movie, and I loved it.
Right?
Yeah. I would have eaten pizza right off the sewer floor.
No pizza has ever looked as good as it did in the cartoon of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'd let a rat give me a slice and everything.
well, okay then.
Yeah, those two guys, man.
Okay, so that being said, I think we're about ready. We're ready to dive in.
Cowabunga.
Let's do it.
Here we go, guys. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We open on the streets of New York City. We hear a news broadcast by reporter April O'Neil as she narrates about a silent crime wave involving numerous young boys. Oh, wait, does this involve the Catholic Church?
Yeah, I love this hot television story about like wallets going missing.
I know, it's such low level
A few TVs.
Like small portable TVs people are watching.
Yeah, that lady's TV, she's like doing her nails and she turns around and the TV's gone.
Yeah, exactly. Like rascals would do.
And
Not really a crime wave.
She has her TV out on the fire escape.
Yeah.
That's
a common.
Yeah, it's not so much a crime wave as just like some pranks.
Yeah, essentially.
Like, how hard do you think they practice to wipe out their truck so fast?
Oh yeah.
They got a timer, you know.
Oh yeah.
They're running drills.
like they were a witness on Law and Order, just unloading the shit out of it.
Right. Well, yeah, because I watched it a second time because like I was like, wow, that was really fast, and I looked again. They frame it so there's like 3 boxes visible. They're like, go.
All right.
We see kids and teenagers stealing appliances and wallets and handing them over to ninjas.
Well, it's like a Fagin thing. We've seen that a couple times now in Solo, but yeah, from Oliver. It's just the band of using children.
Yeah.
That night, walking home from work, April O'Neil is accosted by a gang of teens that she happens upon while stealing TVs.
At least they included a bright yellow raincoat.
Yes, yeah, the one little nod.
We got the splash of yellow.
Yeah. They try to mug her, but...
Oh, she sees a rat crawl into a storm drain.
Yeah.
And freaks out and
she
jumps
freaks
on
out.
it.
It's New York.
Squeals.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she jumped on the crate after the rat had already crawled into the storm drain. I was like, oh, it's gone. Ah!
When they first showed her, she looked kind of haggard. She looks better than the rest of the movie, but I was like, was she embedded in a war zone or something?
Well, and she's got such like late 80s weird perm hair. Like, it wasn't a good look.
Well, I assume that she had been on TV all day. That was kind of like her boss is like,
Yeah.
have a good night, April. Maybe
Right.
you should take a break sometime. And she's just like, no, I live for the news.
Thanks for covering that pickpocket story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you look like shit, okay? Go home
right,
and get
yeah.
some sleep.
Like, this is April O'Neil, hour 37 of the pickpockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they try to mug her, but a sigh smashes the streetlight, and in the darkness, the muggers are subdued. The police arrive to find them all tied up. A pair of eyes peeks out from under a manhole cover to watch her pick up the sigh from the ground before she leaves the crime scene. So that's evidence tampering. You can't just take weapons home from a crime scene.
And he's losing his shit a lot. You know, I imagine they're not easy to come by.
No, they're not.
Well,
not when you're a turtle.
Right.
And in some movies, it makes sense for a journalist to like take evidence, you know, and be like, oh, fuck, this is the only proof of this crime. The cops are not involved with the foot gang.
No.
Like,
Well, and she even says in her newscast, she's like, unfortunately, the police are the only ones we have.
but like, you know, like she's getting in the way of the police investigation.
Well, no, I totally understand why the chief commissioner, whoever that is so upset about.
It's like, April
Really,
O'Neil,
you're such an asshole to
you keep
us.
sweating me. You call like they're supposed to call before you release a story. She's just like, the police suck because I got this news before they did.
She runs into a phone booth. She's all, rat on a sewer grate. Stop. Turtles saved me. Stop.
The new paragraph.
Like, ma'am, you've called JCPenney. Again.
The police actually were a little bit on it.
Well, were they? Because
I mean, come on, their voices went up at the end.
I mean, no, because I read, so I could see how you could read it that way, but I read it more as the police were just being embarrassed by her.
They were, but I like later on in the film, I thought she was fired under the direction of the police.
She was, but I thought the reason that the police directed him to fire her was because they didn't like the embarrassment that she was causing them.
Okay.
It wasn't because they were necessarily
not because they were in cahoots with the Foot Clan. Although I did go back and forth on that a couple times.
Okay.
And if they were, they didn't show a direct connection, like a cop like getting his palms greased or something.
Yeah.
He was never given a sandwich by a ninja.
Yes. Exactly.
I would have believed it, you know? If they, I mean, those ninjas got the stuff from the kids. If the ninjas had been like, we got to go give some cops some TVs.
Shredder shows up. He's like, think about the future. Yeah, so we cut to the sewers where, with credits playing, we see the turtles making their way back to their lair. And we got the cartoon like logo come up on the screen.
Oh, man.
Their reveal could have been cooler.
It could have been. I mean,
You know, I don't know.
but
Not enough skateboards.
but
not enough light.
one thing is certain: they are radical dudes with attitudes.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool with
testing that.
the shadows on the wall, and then they come in. So it could have been cooler, but it could have been worse.
It was
Indeed, yeah.
that weird thing they did where Donatello didn't know like any cool phrases.
Oh, right.
It was kind of weird.
Bossa Nova.
Bossa Nova.
Chevy Nova.
Cowabunga.
Donatello had a TBI, so he was relearning a lot of things.
It was so Bart Simpson like level stuff going on here. They arrive home and tell Splinter, their rodent sensei, that they sensei. I have no idea that they triumphed. Sensei, thank you. That they triumphed in their.
Say me.
That they triumphed in their first battle. Splinter wants to be sure they were not seen. They assure him they were not, but Raphael tells him he lost a sigh.
Then it is gone.
Yeah, Raphael's got a real attitude problem. Splinter tells him it's gone. Raphael's unhappy. Michelangelo orders pizza. Splinter tells them to meditate.
Michelangelo's like, don't put anchovies. Like, he keeps saying don't put anchovies. Like, like people just sneak their own ingredients on a pizza when you order it.
Yeah, no.
There's going to be big trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Issuing threats.
Yeah, what are you going to do, Michelangelo?
Right. Yeah, it's like, sir, we've never just guessed at toppings.
Especially anchovies. You just send them a pepperoni pizza.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like, well, you better not. I don't know how this works. I'm a turtle. I live in the sewer.
Come to Tony's. We start with lots of anchovies.
Then we build from there.
Exactly.
We totally ignore your order.
Pizza costs money.
Yeah, where do they get money?
How do they get money? I hate to be that podcast, but
They model.
Yeah.
they do have those like trench coats. So
Well, they got a lot of stuff. They've got a little black and white TV.
maybe they recycle cans.
Maybe.
Yeah,
They
it
live
could
in
be.
the sewer. I don't know.
Their sewer place looked way better than the Punisher's.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
You get 5 cents per bottle in New York, right?
I don't know. I've never been.
I think so. Yeah, a nickel.
I hope I don't have to find
that
out.
went a
where
lot.
to go.
That went a lot further in 1990.
You could go to college.
On 12 bottles of Coke.
Right. Now that'll get you. That might get you a phone call at a phone booth.
Yeah, no. Ninjutsu.
Raphael puts on a trench coat and a hat, and he goes out.
He goes streaking.
He says to see a movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and when he does go out, he's just walking around, and apparently, the trench coat and the hat are enough.
They're enough.
for
Yeah.
people to
Not notice.
not notice.
Right.
that he's-
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I wondered.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
So yeah,
Well, he looks like the person that would go to a porno theater in Times Square.
Yes.
Trench coat.
with the mask.
Well, and later when Casey Jones sees him, he thinks he's a punker who's painted green.
Yeah,
Like,
it's punkers.
This man is clearly, fucking punkers.
He calls him Bogey too. There's Bogey.
Oh,
like
right.
Humphrey
Oh,
Bogart.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Philip Marlowe.
Like he could have put some socks on or something.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah,
something.
he's got
I was
those
just like,
feet.
dude, like what?
Put on like a legging on your face so you're not green.
Right.
You know, they're like skin colored.
Maybe a Snuggie or something. One of them says "sock it to me."
Well, okay, so yeah, and they
Strange
dance to tequila.
Oh right,
'Cause, like
it's called
ninjutsu.
ninjutsu.
yeah, ninjutsu. But
While Splinter's trying to get him to meditate.
because nothing says like edgy '90s teen like dancing to a song from 1965.
Well, I bet they don't have a lot of records.
yeah, it's on a record player.
Oh, true. Yeah, I guess they got to make do with what they got.
The little
I remember
scratch at
doing
the
that as a
beginning.
kid though, like creating whatever made up words to songs.
Oh,
I still do that as an adult. Me and Hicks were doing that earlier today.
totally.
So above ground, Raphael foils a mugging, and the would-be muggers try to run, but they meet hockey-masked Casey Jones, who starts beating them up. He's interrupted by Raphael. They trade blows. They're pretty evenly matched, but eventually Casey gets the better of Raphael and runs
with a cricket bat.
with a cricket bat. Yes.
That was what put him over the edge, because as Raphael states, nobody understands cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. So it didn't say you have to eat crumpets or something.
Yeah, he said you have to know what a crumpet is to understand cricket.
A crumpet is a small.
Yeah.
It's like an English muffin.
All of a
with
sudden,
only
I
one
know
side.
all about cricket. Wow.
Cricket facts.
Doctors hate.
I didn't do it.
You missed it. Yeah.
It's too late. I didn't have it ready. Okay, so yeah,
You just need the cricket sound.
I'll edit that in. So Raphael chases him, but Casey gets away. Raphael returns home, and Splinter imparts some wisdom to him.
Casey Jones was kind of like a young, long-haired De Niro almost in his portrayal.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I was looking when I was looking him up. I saw later pictures of him, and in later life, he looks a lot like Kevin Pollak.
Or Chris Maloney. I always thought.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Wait, let's take a step back here. So they get that pizza, right?
yeah.
And they're going on and on about how they're, the Turbo Gensu, and they're gonna. Why isn't that pizza pre-cut?
Yeah.
That good point.
Why? Why?
What place orders a pizza uncut?
Right.
Like delivers it
Well,
that way.
apparently this place is the most asshole pizza place.
Maybe that's
They'll put
why.
anchovies.
Yeah,
Right.
They don't cut their pizza. They pour anchovies all over it.
Order pizza from us. We fucking dare you.
Yeah.
Fucking
Daredevil
assholes.
works on the pizza joint.
And wait, so okay, and Domino's, did they ever have the 30 minutes and it's $2 off?
Oh, I thought it was 30 minutes and it's free, right?
That's what it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. So they lost a lot of money, which is why they stopped doing it. So the next day in April's apartment, her boss, Charles, and his son, Danny, are paying her a visit.
All right, that guy pops in on his employee with his kid a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, are they... What's going on there?
They were not romantically involved.
No, he's like
Just
a
anytime
dad.
he has to tell her something, he pops in, but he's got to bring his asshole kid with him.
Yeah, it's a weird,
Who
like,
steals
Perry
money
White.
from her purse.
Like,
Imagine if you had a job and that's how that, I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, if my boss's kid was stealing money from me.
If he was showing up at your house.
If he's following me around, I'm trying to get ready in my bathroom.
He's in a gang.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Look at how tired you are. Look at how tired you are. Here's a towel. Let me go through your shit.
Yeah, he just opens up. Yeah, he's really intrusive.
Yeah. Yes.
Let me bring my shithead kid with me.
Yeah, every time.
Right.
Every single time.
What was his name? Dan?
Charles. Oh, the kid, Danny.
Danny.
Charles. Yeah.
Charles
Pennington
Yes.
was the father. And the actor was Jay Patterson. His most recent credits were in Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2 as the local population.
He is the entire local population in the
he,
game, folks.
He does all the voices.
Every single last one of them.
Wow.
Yep. He's a murmuring crowd.
Nice. How do you get that job?
Cabot Johnson is correct.
Yeah. About Howard Johnson being correct.
So they Charles worries about Danny as he's been skipping school and the crime wave. April says she's going to take the chief of police to task. Charles tells her to take it easy on him.
April, give him your fucking news before you take it to TV.
Right. April doesn't listen, though, and in a live press conference, she presses the chief on his failure to stop the crime wave and asks him about the rumored organization behind it, the Foot Clan.
Danny stole her money back at the apartment.
Yeah, he took $20 out of her wallet.
So doesn't the commissioner say something to the effect of Japan, that they're still angry or they can't get over?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't catch that.
Damn. All right.
Didn't.
Never mind.
No, I didn't catch that.
In his press conference, yeah.
Wow, because that's not cool if he did.
No, right. That's why I wrote it. That it seemed like he was saying they weren't over the A-bomb and they just like had a chip on their shoulder.
Like, well, should they be over the A-bomb? Chief?
Shredder has a very specific grudge. And it's not against the Americans. It's against a very specific rat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
No, it's personal with the rat.
He's like, Japan? I don't care about the war or whatever.
Right.
That fucking rat.
Where's that tiny rat? Oh my God, it's a huge rat.
Right. Well, that's it. Because he doesn't connect those two things until the very end.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Have you been
But yeah, so
feeding
he
it?
doesn't even know it's personal until then. What are the odds of this?
Right.
He recognized the moves that the turtles
Yeah.
were using.
And I guess we'll get to that.
But
We'll get there.
the description of
The
moves.
description of the moves, because he never saw them.
Kung Fu's like
For quite
poetry.
some
man.
time.
Yeah, the way you described the moves. Like he's blind and someone's reading him a book.
Or deaf and watching a Star Wars movie. It's just like alien chatter. It's like Wookiee scream.
What does that sound like?
I can't even begin
Wookiee
to guess.
scream. Wookiee scream.
Or Chewbacca, I think. But yeah, that caught my eye.
To be deaf and trying to figure out what the fuck that is.
You can just say scream, man.
Wookiee sound intensifying.
Yeah.
That's like there was Wookiee sound.
Just hold your head in your hands.
I just think of bad lip reading. Han.
Hey everyone, Thoreau from Harmless Phosphorescence here with a message for you. Yes, you listening to me talk. Did you know that the Harmless Entertainment Network has a Patreon? That's right, you can join in and get extra fun like a Star Wars Harmless Phosphorescence miniseries, a patron-only Q&A roundtable episode. We have great bonus episodes of audio dramas like Attention Hellmart Shoppers in 1994. But not only that, if we reach our next patron goal, we'll do a monthly bonus Harmless Phosphorescence about a patron-chosen non non-superhero movie. Plus, there are great new shows on the way, and if you're a patron, you'll get to hear them first. Head over to patreon.com/Harmless Entertainment today, and for the price of a cup of coffee, you too can join our super awesome superhero club. Now, back to the show.
What were we talking about this movie again?
The Shredder. The Shredder, the foot leader, has been watching, and he orders April silenced. The Turtles are also watching, and as the others drool over April, Raphael gets angry and leaves again in an attempt to recover his lost Sai.
Can we just talk about how Darth Vader-y Shredder is?
Oh, yeah.
He is so Darth Vader.
Yeah.
He's just like a very small, petite Darth Vader.
Yeah, a delicate Vader.
Like he's got the mask and the helmet, and he's very stoic.
He's 5'6" instead of being 6'6".
He's got an awesome like late 70s disco jumpsuit though. Like he's in
so dope.
Like
I want that red glittery.
Like he's
one
in
that he
the
wears at
like the
end.
Bee Gees. I could see the Bee Gees wearing those.
More than a woman to me.
Back at the police station, off air, the police chief yells at April as Danny is arrested behind her. She leaves, and Raphael, waiting outside, follows her. She enters an empty subway station and is attacked by ninjas. Okay,
Completely empty New
we
York.
can call them ninjas, but they're a bunch of dudes with like bug eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that like obscuring your vision while being a ninja.
The bug eyes
It's not easy.
looked awful.
Yeah, it's very Star Wars. Like,
Yeah.
I got a mask that does not help
At all.
Like how the one guy who was delivering the message is like the one Asian kid they grabbed off the streets. You know, like the one.
But I like it was such a bitch move. Like,
Yeah, right.
I got a message for you. Smack.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was like I got a message for you.
Yeah.
Finger.
Oh man, yeah, that slap though.
Yeah.
Oof.
Right.
It was such a bitch slap.
Right.
It was.
Yeah, so she attempts to defend herself, but is knocked unconscious. Raphael retrieves his lost Sai and beats up the ninjas. He carries April away to safety into the sewers. What he doesn't realize is that he's being followed by a 1-Foot Clan ninja. He takes her to their lair, and she wakes up. She freaks out at seeing Splinter and the Turtles' appearance. And then Splinter finally calms her down and explains to April that he was once the pet of Ninja Master Yoshi.
Well, he nurses her by giving her a wet washcloth.
Yes.
The cure-all remedy of all time.
When
I have cancer, get the washcloth.
Exactly.
when she's brought back to the lair before she revives, Donatello says, "It's the news lady. Can we keep her?"
Yeah.
Keep her. Yeah, he wanted to like decorate the couch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Drapes
something did
and
happen to
news
Donatello. We're starting to.
Right.
Maybe
Well-
he's not right in the head.
Yeah, Donatello didn't have a lot going on in this movie because he was supposed to be like the gadget guy, right? He like makes stuff.
Yeah, in the
he
cartoon he was.
Yeah.
He was the smart one that made
Yeah.
all the gadgets and stuff.
He's just in a
that
slump
just
this
wasn't
movie.
here.
Yeah.
No, like I said, I think he had a brain injury.
He didn't do any kind.
He's all Chevy Nova.
He didn't have any science to
Fell
do.
from way too high of a height. He's like, you guys, I'll catch up.
Adrian!
It's like,
It's
we're gonna
okay,
fix
Donnie.
some stuff. Like, oh shit, that explains the tinkering thing.
Like, just give him some parts and let him tinker.
He's just got like a really dark.
Let him take
arc
apart the
in this
VCR.
trilogy.
Give him a vacuum. Tell him it's something important.
When April wakes up, she thinks she's dead, then she thinks she's dreaming, and she laments, "Why do I never dream of Harrison Ford?"
Yes. I often wonder that myself.
I know, me too.
Unfortunately, I do.
Yeah.
And it's way too much.
Is it just him yelling, "Get off my plane"?
You wanted to keep Provasic for yourself. I'm like, I don't even know what it is.
I just imagine him growling in a corner, like he's like a rabid animal.
Yeah, he does growl a lot.
Yeah, he growls and barks. Is he
just like-
part dog?
And he's not like crouched or huddled in the corner. He's like sitting on like an interview couch because that's all he does in every interview. Is just
With his earring in.
they're like, so Harrison, you've been making films.
His hoop earring. What are you doing, Harrison?
That's my Harrison Ford dream.
The Ford fever dream.
So Splinter tells her that
that or him crashing his plane. And I'm like a passenger being like, dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? What the fuck are you doing?
no, if
And
I
he
was
won't
on a
tell you.
plane going down with Harrison Ford at the controls, I'd be like, are we supposed to jump out and like slide down the mountain? No.
I'm looking for a city.
I have a bad feeling about this.
As he just turns to you, he's like, shut the fuck up.
Just shoots you.
Go to the back. Go to coach. Go to coach right now.
He's like, I'm just crashing the plane. I hate Star Wars fans.
Okay, so Splinter calms her down and explains to her that he was once the pet of Ninja Master Yoshi, but he was forced to come to New York and lost his master. All of this is really like
This
not
reminds
really
me of another
explained.
dream about Harrison Ford.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
He found himself in the sewer where he found turtles that were mutated by toxic waste.
Not toxic waste. Radioactive ooze.
Radioactive ooze. So
they were crawling around in the ooze, and there was a canister there that was clearly labeled radioactive material.
all of this is really unexplained. Like he says what happened.
As a little
but
kid, this confused me.
This offers
was like this was a bizarre sequence of like shots where I'm like, what is? Okay, so I get it, but what's happening?
like we understand what happened,
Yeah.
but it raises far more questions than it answers.
Yes, exactly. Why are you showing me this? You could just tell me.
It's just like how jarring the animation is, and how different it varies in quality.
Yeah.
It's like from like,
Yeah, the
movie,
tiny
you know,
turtles.
Yeah,
like-
yeah. It looked like an old like King Kong
Yeah, it's like,
video
oh, God,
almost.
what is this?
Or he looked like Rizzo the Rat from the
No,
Muppets.
he really did. Like you
Yeah.
could practically see the stick, moving him around.
Especially when he's practicing martial arts later.
Needless to say, his like imagination is very low budget. Let me tell you a story.
It was a 19 tickety talk.
I had to go to New York.
My imagination is limited.
They
I was just a rat.
They had to go to New York. It don't explain why.
And he had to go with her.
Him.
Like
Him. Master Yoshi.
Go with my rat.
Right, I got to take this rat.
Yeah.
But sir, there are plenty of rats on the ship.
Is that
No,
is that
this
why
one.
New York has such a rat problem?
Because it's Splinter.
They keep bringing him over from Japan.
They introduced rats to the ecosystem.
Oh God, this movie is all of a sudden super racist. It's like this is why there's a rat problem. The Chinese are just bringing them here. Or Japanese, they're ninjas. Sorry. Who's the racist now? Boom. Self-racist
You've
burn.
been Brian. The turtles escort April home, where they eat pizza and bond. They do some
Over impressions.
Yeah, over impressions.
Mikey's doing his impressions of Stallone and then
Edward G. Robinson.
yeah.
You dirty
Yeah.
rat.
Oh, he said Cagney.
Oh, that is James Cagney.
Yeah.
Then what,
Robinson. See, Chief Wiggum.
Oh, yeah, see, that's right.
See.
And April jokes that must be Splinter's favorite, the dirty rat.
And
then-
oh, April.
And they look at her confused.
Like, what'd you say, bitch? What did you just say?
That's my dad.
Fuck you, April O'Neil.
He puts
Fucking
food on the
jumpsuit you
table.
rode in on.
He is a decent man.
He may be a rat, but he feeds me pizza.
They return home and find their hideout ransacked and Splinter kidnapped. So they go back to April's apartment. Meanwhile, the chief of police contacts Charles about his son. The next day, after rescuing Danny from jail, Charles stops at April's apartment to tell her to stop working on the Crime Wave story. Danny glimpses one of the turtles in hiding.
Have we already been to the like lair where all the kids hang out? And
Not yet.
Okay.
No, not
Really
yet.
close.
We are getting there. They leave.
The fucking most righteous video arcade ever.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's like Shredder's running a Boys and Girls Club.
Well, yeah, that's what I got that here. So they leave, and in the car, Charles lectures Danny, who jumps out of the car and runs into a subway entrance where, to the gritty sounds of MC Hammer,
Yeah.
This is what we do.
but isn't he saying, my body, my body? Like, what about your body hammer? We're introduced to the Foot Clan, home for wayward boys.
Yeah, it totally reminded me of like Pleasure Island from Pinocchio.
Yeah.
You know, they would lure the kids there and turn them into donkeys. But even in that, it's like, it seems like whatever you're spending to run this awesome arcade, and, you know,
It's got to cost a lot more than what you're making.
than what you're getting. Yeah, exactly. In Pinocchio, you change them into donkeys. It's
Well, and keeping all that stuff
how's
in
the
one
donkey
spot?
business more lucrative than keeping that amusement park?
Like, yeah, just go rob a bunch of people and then come back here. Like, no, the cops are gonna come and they're gonna take all our games away.
Exactly. This kid smoking a cigar.
Yeah, that first kid was playing pool and smoking a giant cigar.
It was like
It's literally a Pinocchio.
and that kid was like really smart. Like, I can't believe they'd let them get away with that. Like a 12-year-old smoking.
Right.
There's a bit of teen smoking in this.
Oh yeah.
Hey, man, what kid doesn't smoke cigars at 12?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
America.
So okay, there's soda drinking, smoking, poker, skateboarding, video games, and ninja warrior training.
Hell yeah.
So
Sign me up, mom and dad. I'm in.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
such
cool day camp.
it again is such a 1990 version of like Bart Simpson style bad boy stuff
Right.
going on.
Hey, I mean, and they're taking
Totally
kids for
pedestrian.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like a free after school program. They're providing meals, drinks, entertainment.
All kinds.
Exercise.
That's what I
exercise.
mean. The overhead on that has got to be really high.
Right.
Keep buying sodas.
They're also teaching no honor because Master Tatsu, he spars with one of the kids, and then after they spar for a little bit, the kid bows and he like kicks him in the head.
Yeah.
He's like, "Never look away," or something like that.
And never take your eyes away from your enemy.
Yeah,
So
can't even.
But I thought we were
Can't
friends.
even show respect.
Sounds like a typical nonprofit to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a charter school.
Yeah, right.
You show up there and no
gonna-
adults around, but the ones that are menacing.
We're going to need you coming for extra hours tomorrow, too. I might kick you in the head again.
And then Shredder gives them all a speech, right?
yeah. Okay, so yeah, then Shredder appears and addresses the horde of adolescent boys. A boy is inducted into full membership of the Foot.
Right. So it's like, he's giving a commencement speech.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to read, "Oh, the places you'll go."
Yeah, it was like half commencement speech, half like Kali Ma, like weird, like
Yeah, it was
You're
like,
not good enough.
we're
my
taking
advice
your
to you is to
childhood.
wear sunscreen.
Exactly. That's what it seemed. He showed up to give this speech to the
Your
recent
parents
crowd.
don't love you, but you love arcade games. What have I given you?
He's like, do I not allow you to skate and to play your Street Fighter 2?
I even bought you guys pornos. I thought you
Right,
thought
exactly.
we were cool.
Yeah.
Randy Wenches 38.
This is with that cool shot of like the shadow, and he's just like
Yeah.
walking in like
Oh,
that
yeah.
super. There's a couple of cool shots in this movie.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
Yeah.
look bad at all. There's
Yeah.
some really cool.
He's freaking Darth
Yeah, the
Vader.
shadow,
Those
right,
shadow
exactly.
shots.
Yeah.
It was just like,
boom, boom,
Right.
yeah,
boom,
he's
boom.
cool, weird Michael Jackson version of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
You know, like he's like, I just want to hang out with children
Michael Vader.
and wear a mask.
Michael.
Like what? And a cape and sequins. You're like,
That's his third kid that didn't have any midichlorian.
Michael Anakin.
He was roommates with Garth Maul in college.
Garth Maul and Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. I think about Garth Maul so often.
Garth
They
Maul
went to
and-
college at Neverland.
Garth Maul and Michael Vader like trying to get into the frat party because the girl they want to date's in there. Okay, so
He doesn't want people to know who his dad is. He wants to make it on his own.
yeah, so Shredder tells the boys that they must destroy the turtles. Danny tells Shredder he's seen him.
You want to play video games? You have to kill the turtles.
So you're like, okay, there's this awesome place. I steal wallets and then I get to play video games,
Right,
and skate,
hang
and
out.
poker. They let me smoke menthols.
Right. Whichever I choose.
Yeah, it's my choice.
No, those crummy ultralights that Grandma smokes.
Right, exactly. Here it's my choice. At home it's Carlton 100.
Capri ultralight. But
You smoke my brand, Dad.
and then all of a sudden this guy comes out and tells you we must destroy the turtles. And you're like, no, what did he say again?
I'm sorry, turtles?
What's
That's more than a one guy operation.
Yeah, Danny tells Shredder he's seen them. On the air that day, April reveals that she was attacked by the Foot Clan, and the chief calls Charles furious. She thanks Raphael by name, and the turtles who are watching the broadcast tease him. He gets angry and argues with Leonardo about finding Splinter. Raphael storms off and goes to the roof of April's apartment building, where he's spotted through binoculars by Casey Jones just before the Foot ambush him.
So he's struggling with anger. Like,
he's got some real Anakin things going down.
Yeah, like him and Ratatouille. What's his face? Splinter. They had a talk before he gets kidnapped. And he's just so mad. Yeah. He's just so mad. He's like up on the roof, like
he's angry at everything,
yelling and like
punching the
air. Yeah. It's just weird. His whole character is just anger.
And he and Leonardo, they squabble a little bit about what to do and leadership,
which they did on the cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, and Leonardo wants April to be in charge.
Yeah.
Smart lady. We do what smart lady says.
But you're right.
Raphael's like, no, our fucking dad's missing. Dude, we're ninjas.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and on the TV show, you know, they needed their distinct personalities, and he was the one with Tude. Mm-hmm. But yeah, in this movie, it just comes across as angry young man.
Yeah.
And they kind of identify it that way too, which is just like, okay, he's like, you're different from the other ones. I've tried to focus your anger, but you're still angry.
He's got a real 4chan vibe going on.
Yeah. Fuck.
He's an incel. He's an incel.
Incel. Fuck you.
Oh. God.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, and she's clearly into him.
First.
She was that?
She's clearly into him.
Yeah, she kind of
Beverly and Howard the Duck.
Yeah, this is very
yeah.
What kind of duck anatomy are we working with here anyways?
We're turtles.
Turtle anatomy.
Turtle anatomy.
So
sorry, my mind went back to
well, okay. So,
the last time we had this
seen
conversation.
A turtle eating turtle junk. I guess I don't even know.
Okay, so I ran.
They just stand next to each other.
I ran a pet store for a while, and they actually do have some rather impressive accoutrements comparative to their size.
Wow,
it's
like got to get up under a shell.
It's like half their mass is penis, and they actually do it. Like animals do, like the same one on top of the other. Like they do it turtle style.
Yeah. Dogs, man, they got in on the ground floor.
Right.
Because it's so many styles.
But it's usually concealed in the shell, correct?
Yes, it has to come out of the shell.
I mean, if it was just hanging out.
Yeah, they'd be in a lot of trouble.
Of the shell.
They'd be dragging on the ground. Very slowly.
Comes out of its shell. Your shy penis finally gets up the nerve to talk to.
Hey! Have you been talking to my wife?
Sorry. He's coming out of his shell.
Those are turtle facts. They return penis facts.
We're there. Oh, yeah, you're right. Turtle.
All right, so April returns home, and while unbeknownst to her and the other turtles, Raphael is battling the Foot Clan on the roof. She shows them around the antique store she owns on the bottom
On the bottom floor, yeah.
She lives above an antique store, which she owns.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was the weirdest plot detail.
It's like closed during the daytime. She does it by appointment?
Yeah, just because I think she said
it was in the family.
Yeah, her dad owned it.
And it's an eBay only store now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall of that creep fan of the Foot Clan when they're on the way there. Like that one kid at the assembly that no one's ever met. Speaks up. I bet. Better be some damn turtles here.
Right.
Better be some goddamn turtles here.
Yeah, no, so yeah, right. So better be. Just be like, Shredder says we got to get these turtles. I guess we do.
Yeah, right. Do you think he'll know? Should we just go grab some turtles?
Right?
Here they are, boss.
Could it be just any turtles?
Right.
We painted them different colors.
Right.
Yeah, they return to her apartment just in time for Raphael and the ninjas to fall through the skylight. Raphael's knocked unconscious, and the turtles scramble to defend themselves, battling the ninjas.
Michelangelo and one of the ninjas have a chuck-off.
Yes, they do.
So you got your chucks.
Yeah.
A fellow chucker.
A fellow chucker. Yeah. Oh.
And it might have been
Keep practicing.
it might have been already, but one of them makes a joke like, "You're as bad as an insurance agent."
Oh, yeah.
When did these turtles ever encounter
Insurance.
Right. They had to listen to a pitch for like 40 minutes. Like, all right, look, I'll get home and car, but I don't need fire. It's a sewer.
The floor buckles, and they crash through to the antique store below, where they're about to be overwhelmed when Casey Jones arrives to help them out. The building catches fire during the fight. Casey overhears a message from Charles firing April on her answering machine. And the turtles, Casey and April, escape in Casey's van. As they drive away, April watches her home burn to the ground, and Danny looks on in regret.
It burns down in the most classic 90s, like, bad guy catches on fire, burns the building down. Whoa. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I think it was electricity. It was an electrical fire.
Yeah, one of the foot members, he had an axe, and he hit one of the power cables.
One thing I've learned from watching movies where people fight large groups of other people in houses, anything can start a fire at any moment.
Oh, yeah. Like the cat, boom, fire. You know, like chairs, fire.
Water, fire.
Fire. Yeah, exactly. Holy shit, is that an alligator? Nope, it's a fire.
Nope, fire. Guess again.
Back at the Foot Clan hideout, Shredder questions Splinter about how the turtles can fight so well, but gets no answers. Master, what is the guy's name? Tatsu. Master Tatsu is furious and beats up some kids.
Yeah, he's really transferring emotion.
And he's got to learn how to properly express himself. And Danny visits Splinter, who lends him a sympathetic ear. Meanwhile, the turtles, April and Casey, arrive at a farmhouse belonging to April's family. So she's got an antique store, a farmhouse.
And he just decides to live with them. They don't really explain why Casey came, but he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then her voiceover all of a sudden. Like, how startling was that shit? And they read like, you know, a Civil War widow, like from the front, the letters from the front. It's like, it's been 3 days since we've heard from Zachariah. It's just so...
No, totally. It was out of nowhere. And she's
out of nowhere.
Suddenly she's an artist, too.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But she's the voiceover as if she's writing in her diary.
No, it completely is. Yeah, who is this to? Who is she writing to?
It's weird because I used to draw those same fucking Ninja Turtles like, sitting in doorways.
But hers is like a watercolor.
Like, smoking cigarettes. I don't know. Just like, I don't know.
Listening to Joni Mitchell.
Throwing footballs, you know.
Painting turtles.
Drinking red wine. Wearing a black turtleneck.
It turns out that she grew up on this farm.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't see any fields or anything, but she referred to it as a farm.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's a human cloning farm. They're cloning humans in the sub basement.
Oh my. So yeah, the van's broken for some reason. All they did was drive there. Well, I mean, it is a VW, so. Or is it because they took the emblem off the front?
Oh yeah, we'll never know.
There's no way you can know what kind of car that was. Casey breaks the news of her firing to April, who does not take it well. April draws. Donatello and Casey work on an old pickup truck in the barn.
There was a fun joke in this scene. He calls her Broadzilla. That wasn't the fun joke. So he says, "Hey, Broadzilla, you wouldn't even be standing here if it weren't for me, okay?" She says, "You want to thank you?" "No, it's me who should thank you for that privilege, right?" "Fine, thank you." "No, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome." And they go into separate rooms and slam doors.
Right. This Sam and Diane thing that happened instantly out of nowhere.
But then Donatello says, "Gosh, it's kind of like moonlighting, isn't it?"
Yeah, that was a good one.
But it's true. That was exactly what moonlighting was like.
Yeah,
every
really,
episode.
Cheers, moonlighting, like they suddenly have that happening.
Well, and somewhere in here, Casey Jones is cutting vegetables with a katana.
Yes,
that was funny.
So they do that whole "I hate you so much, I'm falling in love with you" thing, and then at the Foot Clan crib, Shredder tells Tatsu.
Yeah.
It would have been great if we heard the voiceover diary entry of a random foot soldier
or of Shredder.
Or of Shredder. It's been 3 days.
Today my mask is particularly itchy.
Right. I'm searching for that rat that attacked me. This giant rat seems to be no help in that pursuit.
I wonder if there could be a connection. No.
Nope.
No, I've wandered down that path too many times.
It's my proverbial white whale.
It is.
It's my proverbial white whale.
His diary would be awesome. The badder the guy, the funnier the idea of a diary.
I got a new fit on my outfit today. I got these shoulders an extra inch wide on each side. I think it looks sexy.
I ate 2 cupcakes at the party today. I don't know why I even bother. I'm never going to fit into that suit.
Might delete. I don't know.
Shredder tells Tatsu that
I would just assume that his diary would be full of like, I killed another henchman on accident today. I hope nobody ever finds this diary.
Exactly.
It's gonna fuck up my whole thing.
This is very incriminating. And it has my real name. Kevin
Shredder. Shredder tells Tatsu that Danny is missing. I don't know.
Danny's missing?
Yeah, and the turtles fighting disturbs him because it reminds him of, quote, something from the past. That's what he said.
Yeah, first of all, those are the only things you can be reminded of. You cannot be reminded of things from the future.
Fucking temporal dilemma, Shredder. Fuck you.
And so dark and brooding, so emo of him.
Yeah, right.
Also, his past is just a dark room.
Yes,
With a rat cage and another couple.
It's like on stage, like when there's a spotlight and the rest of the stage is black.
Right, but everyone's still there.
Yeah.
And he's just off in front with another spotlight narrating.
All of a sudden you're just thinking 2,920.
I guess it all started.
Casey gives April a back rub. We all know what back rubs lead
A
to.
very sexual back rub.
Yes.
He is like humping her neck.
Because he doesn't know how it works.
He is clearly, she describes him as a 9-year-old boy. And the first moments that she is like falling for him, he is giving her what a 9-year-old boy would give as a sexual massage.
textbook 9-year-old boy.
Like he has no idea where any of the sexual parts on himself or her are. And he's just
Fair
like,
enough.
I like you. I guess I can massage you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch your neck. That's a girl
Ooh,
part,
you're
right?
warm. Like it was a really weird yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I also saw this as a young kid and had no idea what the fuck was happening between the two of them.
Oh my God.
What is he doing to her? Why is
He's
he
trying to
touching
jump
her?
over her.
Yeah. They playing leapfrog?
Yeah. You can do it, boy.
Did we skip over Raphael waking up from his coma?
He wakes up while she's getting the erotic massage.
A little bit before.
I thought it. Oh, really?
Yeah.
She gets the erotic massage right after she walks in on Casey Jones chopping the vegetables with the katana.
Yeah. So
Oh, right.
Raphael wakes
But,
up
yeah,
somewhere
he's
in
been-
all of this.
He's been chilling in the bathtub this whole time, like face down.
Like his kidneys have been harvested.
I mean, he's a turtle.
Every once in a while, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, the shell's supposed to be up.
Yeah.
It's really, it's considered really rude to lay a turtle down on its back.
The continuity.
But every
Is it
once,
just rude?
Yeah, just a dick move.
Every once in a while, April walks in and scoops some water out of the bathtub and like dribbles it over the top of him.
She's all.
I gotta keep him moist.
We don't have a moistened cloth.
See, I thought she was drinking it.
Wow. Like turtle soup.
Magical turtle water.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Let's market that.
I'm sure we can get some kids.
From the
to try.
creators of Monster.
Exactly. Hydrate like a turtle.
It may or may not have creatine inside.
And by hydrate like a turtle, we mean once every few months.
Yeah, Leo contacts Splinter through telepathy, tells the other turtles about it, and then that night they have a fire-lit Splinter seance.
This is such a weird. The fire is such a weird thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
they all have their eyes closed
Yeah.
when the apparition of Splinter comes out.
So
of
did they
the
miss
fire.
the whole thing?
They're like, bro, whoever was doing that impression of Splinter, that was great.
That was
you
great.
know? Wow.
At dawn,
He alludes to the fact that the true force that binds them is love.
Yep.
It's not the Force, though, because that's copywritten.
Yeah.
it's not pizza, dude.
It's love.
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella. At dawn, Casey is revealing his athletic background to April when the turtles tell them it's time to return to New York to rescue Splinter.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he threw a football over a mountain, right?
So yeah,
Superman.
he kicked us. He hit a baseball into outer space
That's just.
at his parents' farm. They arrive back home and go to spend their night in their old sewer lair where they find Danny hiding out.
Danny, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Danny? Literally says, "Are you okay, Danny?"
He does. Casey decides to stay in the truck.
April says, "God, your father's gonna have kittens."
Yeah, what?
I want to bring that phrase back.
Right. Yeah.
Take those
like
kittens out a whole new door. I'm just going to pile up all these phrases.
Casey stays in the truck due to some latent claustrophobia. And
he doesn't know what claustrophobic means.
yeah, he's right. Yeah,
I never think about dudes.
I've never even looked at another guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, do we really explore the claustrophobia thing anymore?
It was just an excuse for him to be
outside,
be out in the truck and see Danny leave.
Because he wears a mask when we first see him.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't wear the mask the rest of the time.
He's got no problem. No, it's
which is weird.
There's a lot of little character things like her. I'm pretty sure she had the antique store just so they could crash through and have like a crazy fight scene and a fire break out.
Yeah.
With a bunch of,
Otherwise, she would have lived in like a, 3x5 studio apartment.
There was a bunch of stuff that were like, this happens. Yeah. We need a reason to justify it. So Danny enjoys April's drawing of Leonardo, so she gives it to him. In the night, Danny wakes after hearing Shredder's voice in his sleep and leaves.
There was a scene that demonstrated Donatello's scientific prowess. Where
he's like, I put on my socks.
They find the pizza.
Good, Donnie. They're on your head, but okay.
They find the pizza Michelangelo's excited about. He sees a pizza and Donatello opens it like, do you like penicillin on your pizza?
Yeah. It's all moldy.
Oh, yes, he's a scientist.
And then they
perform taps.
They perform taps
for the pizza.
A small funeral for the pizza.
Casey sees Danny leave and follows him back to the Foot Clan headquarters. Danny visits Splinter again, who tells him the story of his master, Hamato Yoshi's murder by the rival ninja, Oroku Saki, over the love of a woman, while Splinter was an ordinary rat. Was he an ordinary rat?
Yeah, because when he rescues the turtles, he's still a rat.
Right.
Because he's like, wow, they're growing faster than
he was
other
like a
turtles.
kung fu rat.
Because I guess a normal rat wouldn't really think to mimic your master's moves.
No,
in the first place.
I've had a rat as a pet. They don't generally do martial arts.
It's a shame, really. But
yeah,
there could be so much more.
Danny's shirt when he walked in caught my eye, and It's a Sid Vicious
Sid
shirt.
Vicious.
He was wearing he wore
Sid and Nancy.
several Sid Vicious shirts
Like,
over the course of
Almost,
the movie.
almost every shirt.
What, was there something to that?
Punkers, maybe?
I mean, other than
Yeah,
that,
he was
like,
just
was the director like,
he was
oh
just a
man,
punk rocker.
Sid Vicious,
Oh, that's a
bro.
good
Like,
question. Yeah, I wonder.
I don't
Maybe
I don't know.
Sid
Maybe there
Vicious
was a
was-
connection.
Yeah, it was a music
Yeah,
video
so that's
director.
Yeah, like the whole movie.
Yeah.
Sid Vicious gear.
During their struggle, Splinter's cage was broken and he lunged at Saki's face, clawing and biting him, leaving a scar. Saki threw Splinter to the floor and took a swipe with his katana, slicing Splinter's ear off. Splinter tells Danny that his headband has Saki's symbol on it. Boom. Meanwhile, Casey jumps a ninja and disguises himself as a Foot Clan member. Shredder happens upon Danny with Splinter and finds the drawing of Leonardo. He realizes the turtles are back.
Finds the drawing.
And he sees Danny's headband on the floor.
Like, I gave that to you, bro.
That's my freaking name.
Danny, no.
At the,
This,
the graduation ceremony.
That was a present.
this is the final betrayal.
Yeah.
Danny.
Don't you care about me at all, Danny?
I believed you at the assembly.
Underneath the seats.
Bleachers, yeah.
When Danny overhears Shredder telling Tenchi to have Splinter killed, he and Casey set him free, while the Foot arrives at the Turtles' hideout and a battle ensues. Meanwhile,
They laid a trap for them, like the steam pipes.
yes, yeah, so they get steamed.
Yeah.
Steamed hams.
Steamed feet.
Was that Donatello, or was that just
It
regular
wasn't
turtle?
explicit. Yeah.
or was that just like, we're the turtles, we do this?
Yeah.
I have to assume it was probably Donatello.
We're the turtles.
Yeah, like
I don't know. Obviously, Donatello
This
didn't
is
get enough
what we
ooze.
do.
Right.
He needed more ooze.
I didn't mean to chant over you.
Oh, what?
Yeah, he got a little less than everybody else.
Yeah. So the teens. Okay. So meanwhile, Casey and Danny are battling.
Getting to know each other.
The one bad guy on the Foot. Casey battles and defeats him.
After he picks up the golf club, right?
Yeah. He picks up the golf club.
Yeah,
and-
he's getting badly beaten until he sees the golf club, and then he grabs that, and that's all he needs.
Right.
yeah,
So,
to
like,
win.
It's his Mjolnir.
Well,
It's his superpower. He just picks up any piece of athletic equipment.
Yeah, right.
And then he's a super good fighter.
Medicine ball.
Well, this is another case of like we were talking about in Punisher, where like someone is getting beat terribly and they can barely move. Then all of a sudden they win and they're fine again.
Yeah, they're fine.
yeah, and then they'd run off screen.
Shake it off.
Yeah. So the teens are going to attack them when Splinter reveals to them that the Shredder has been brainwashing them to do his dirty work. Was it really that opaque? Like, did they not see that coming? Wait, whoa. The guy named Shredder
Yeah.
is a bad dude.
I thought he ran a nonprofit.
They told me that we were giving out meals to elderly people.
Yeah, for every coin I put in those arcade games.
I thought this was a community center.
Yeah, exactly. So they were Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but then Shredder's also training Teenage Ninja people.
Yes, they just they're
just
missing,
not mutated.
They're just not mutant
But
turtles.
same attitudes, teenagers.
Yeah.
same
That's the
mindset.
missing link, bro.
Yeah.
Teenage regular ninja people.
Right, yeah.
Humans.
Just teenage ninjas.
And they're ninjas because they went through the whole program, like IT technical.
Yeah, they
they have a certificate.
Yeah,
went through
exactly.
the 6-week course. They got the printout.
It's also a bartending certificate.
I only need half a ninja credit. I'm right there. I'm right there.
Half a ninja credit.
I'm so close.
But it's in like history. Yeah. Women's studies. A ninja credit.
It's bullshit that they make me take a physical education course.
It's the whole prerequisite. Man.
Yeah. So many.
What am I going to use math and ninja in?
Right.
The turtles engage the foot and so the teens let him go because Shredder's bad. The turtles engage the foot in battle through the sewers and into the streets and up to the rooftops when Shredder arrives. He fights the turtles and easily defeats them over and over. The kids and Casey, Splinter, and Danny arrive in the street and see what's happening. As the Shredder is about to kill Leonardo, Splinter appears and challenges him to a fight. Splinter tells Shredder he knows he's Saki. Saki removes his mask and touches his scar, remembering how Splinter gave it to him. He charges Splinter to spear him, who ensnares the Shredder's spear with Michelangelo's nunchuku. Nunchucks.
Yeah. Oh, highfalutin over there.
You can call them nunchucks.
Yeah, man. You're among friends.
Leave it. Thanks, guys. Leaving him dangling over the roof's edge. In a final attempt to kill Splinter, Shredder throws a Tonto at Splinter. But when Splinter reaches to catch it, his grip is released, and Saki falls into a garbage truck where Casey crushes him to death.
Yeah. No qualms.
This is the second time we've seen this, basically. This is the Batman and Joker scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
All over again.
Just like, it's fine if he dies.
Yeah.
If he dies.
It's cool.
He dies.
Yeah.
And our second trash compactor?
Yeah.
Superman.
Oh, right. Yes.
Superman
In the junkyard, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Casey Jones does
that
essentially murder.
Yeah.
Shredder.
And his line while murdering him is, oops.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's cool.
Not
Psycho.
Shred this. No, oops.
Yeah.
Shred this. I like that line. We should
Shred this.
We should re-edit this film.
Your mom's
that
shredder.
That's what she said.
With a vengeance.
As the police arrive and arrest the foot soldiers, the teens tell them where the stolen goods are. That chief shows up. You guys better have a good start.
Yeah, he was over the top.
He was mad all the time.
Very mad.
Danny's reunited with his dad, Charles, who gives April her job back with a raise and perks. Corner office. Reunited with Splinter, the Turtles watch as April and Casey kiss. They celebrate on the rooftop. Cowabunga.
Yeah. They settle on they're like workshopping what their catchphrase should be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Donatello's having trouble again with it.
Yeah.
So they ran through gnarly, radical, totally tubular dudes, wicked, hellacious, and Donatello starts saying mega, and then it was Splinter that suggested, he said he always liked Cowabunga.
Yeah. Yes. Cowabunga dudes.
Like, no, Donatello, we're not going to say Megan.
Bossa Nova.
Yeah.
Chumbawamba.
I'm telling you, he didn't get enough ooze. All right.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't get enough.
Keeps falling down that ladder. Up out of the sewer grate.
That's the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. The second one came out only a year later.
Yeah, they were back to back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that.
The third one was a long time after.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 years. It was, towards the end of their popularity. I didn't even see the third one.
I remember the third one more than I remember any of these movies.
Well,
Really?
And another movie that had, which was a staple of that time, a hip hop artist explaining the whole plot of the movie in the song over the titles.
Okay, so I have a nit to pick with this. In this song, he says, heroes in a half shell. They're on a mission. When they're in battle, got the enemy wishing that they'd stayed at home instead of fighting these ninja masters with moves like lightning. They were once normal, but now they're mutants. Splinter's the teacher, and they are the students. Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Donatello make up the crew with one other fellow, Raphael. He's the leader of the group, transformed from the norm by the nuclear goop. Raphael is not the leader of the group.
That's right.
Leonardo is the leader.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Often these hip hop, exposition songs are wrong. Do you guys remember MC Hammers from the Addams Family?
Yes. They do what they want to do.
Say what they want to say.
They kick and they slap a friend?
They kick and they slap a friend.
The Addams Family are nice people.
Yes, they are.
They do not slap friends.
Yeah, it's just funny.
The Turtles. we get to rank this thing.
Well, let's see. Any final thoughts?
Yeah. Any thought?
What do people think?
A thing I noticed, Donatello was, I believe, the only one shown riding a skateboard in this movie.
Oh.
At the beginning, when he and Michelangelo are waiting for the pizza, and then in the final fight scene, before Shredder shows up, he's riding around fighting with his on his skateboard. But it was actually Michelangelo in the show who was the predominant skateboarder.
Yeah. Well, it's because Donatello normally has a rascal scooter, but they didn't want to use that in the movie, so they gave him a skateboard.
And here's the question. So Leonardo and Donatello have basically kind of flat American accents. Raphael's got a pretty heavy Eastern Seaboard,
Italian,
New York,
yeah.
and Michelangelo has a West Coast surfer dude accent. So they were all raised together in the sewers of New York. How did they develop these vastly different accents?
And Splinter had a Japanese,
right? Yeah,
accent.
should they not maybe? I mean, and Splinter's the one they were around the most. Shouldn't they all maybe just kind of have Japanese accents?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It is.
My immersion was completely blown.
Oh man, yeah. The moment they all started talking, I was like, "What? Turtles don't talk." There was there were some cool details that they did. They attempted to do, and I think they pulled off pretty well. Was making all the fighting styles different for each character.
Oh yeah.
So like one is more taunting, and one is more playful, and one is more like aggressive. You know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they stuck to it, which was kind of neat to see. On second watch, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lots of sweat though. I just keep thinking of how much sweat all those guys are like sloshing around.
But
watching again as an adult, it's like you get kind of claustrophobic. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah,
you think about the person in there.
Right.
There's a person getting paid a living a wage to do like,
That's so funny. That's a milestone in life. That's when you become an adult. It's like when you're at Disneyland, and you're like, that poor bastard.
Like, I wonder what their benefits package is.
Right, exactly.
Would it be worth it? Maybe. Probably not. Maybe.
I wonder if they got a camelback in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, those the or not the cinematography necessarily. The animatronics were just so fucking crazy.
They really were.
They were really good. I feel like this is the height of animatronics. in the film industry.
We're about to see, like, I think over the next 5 years, from 90 to like 95, post Jurassic Park, it all kind of is downhill from there.
Well, yeah,
because everybody's just incorporating CG into everything.
Jurassic Park killed animatronics.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, and but also did some of the best animatronics.
Well, yeah,
ever.
that's what's ironic about Jurassic Park.
Right. Well, and it's weird, Siskel and Ebert's attitude. They're absolutely right. It was a tie-in. It was for the show and the toys and for kids, but there's nothing B-movie about it.
Yeah.
Everyone's performance is decent. The effects, the animatronics, like, I don't know. It's like, you guys are right. It is for kids.
This is the same level of quality as Batman.
Right.
Like the quality level
thought of that
is
as
high.
well. Yeah.
Watching all these Siskel and Ebert reviews of these movies that are dominantly for younger people, it's occurred to me that Siskel and Ebert have no right judging movies that are predominantly for younger people.
No, because they were still of that old school. You know what I mean? Like, if kids like movies, that's great. That's on them.
Yeah.
But you don't make movies for kids.
No. Movies were serious art and kid movies were stupid.
When Ebert said that a kid's movie should be brighter, I think he's thinking of like 5-year-olds,
right?
But
or a cartoon,
or younger. But ninjas are not 5-year-old.
These aren't movies for 5-year-old kids necessarily. All the 5-year-old kids can certainly enjoy them, as I'm sure the two of you were probably 5 and watching them. But they were really for like the 10 to 12-year-old crowd,
right? A little older, right?
I don't know. I feel like Siskel and Ebert would have probably rather had 5-year-olds watching like Close Encounters of the Third Kind or something than this movie.
Like Truffaut's in it.
Right, exactly.
Come on. Ourselves.
But yeah, it spoke to its demographic perfectly.
Oh yeah.
The Turtles. Yeah.
I was 90? I was 13 or 14. And yeah. I mean, I was right at the top edge of the age for it, but I loved it.
The cartoons too. It's about adolescent boys.
I bought so many toys. Well, I didn't. My parents did.
Yeah. I bought very few toys personally.
Fairly certain I had some ninja light up shoes. You know what I mean?
Oh, so jealous.
When you're in the sewer.
For real.
Yeah,
I was always coveting those light up shoes.
Yeah.
I got the one toy where you push down on the head and the arms come in. Yeah, I never got those light up shoes, man.
I remember the toys were like big He-Man sized ones.
Yeah.
The turtles?
Were great.
Yeah.
They were pretty articulating too. They had like their elbows and their hips were very like they moved, man.
April O'Neil had the toy had basically the same body shape as Tila.
Right.
And the evil female from the He-Man universe.
Yeah.
Well, watching the turtle, the episode on Netflix of The Toys That Made Us, one of the same designers is a guy who designed the Masters of the Universe.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Suddenly it's all falling
Because it
into
was the
place.
same deal. Like, we want to sell some toys. Let's make a cartoon to get everyone accustomed to our toys. You know, that was the first time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it happened over and over. Transformers, He-Man, the Turtles. Yeah. It's a thing they did.
Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah,
all the, you know.
I got all kinds of Angela Lansbury swag, bro.
I cannot tell you how many posters of Angela Lansbury I had up in my room.
Hey, man, I got that 1985 spread.
We know the one you're talking about.
Her in a sweater.
It broke the U.S. Postal Service.
Finally.
Her hair is permed just so.
Oh, man, perfectly coiffed. Oof.
Oh God.
I'll let her solve my mystery anytime.
Anytime.
How do you think
Dame.
how do you think it lived up to like how you saw it as a kid, Chico?
Really well. There are certain scenes that I remember a lot, like the turtle scenes. You know,
I remember turtle scenes.
All those turtle scenes are
Resplendent.
so turtly. Like the one where they're doing the impressions. You know.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much that one scene where they're in where Raphael walks in after Splinter's been kidnapped.
Yeah.
And the camera is just like panning around. I don't remember that being so scary.
Oh.
I was like, oh my God, what's happening? It's kind of like a mental breakdown.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh God.
Right, I think it held up really well.
Yeah.
I think so.
I had a good time,
it was pretty good.
rewatching and-
I think it definitely deserves more than that 40%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like I recall being a little more dismissive of the movies when I was younger.
I think I was too, yeah.
It's just like, oh, it looks cheesy. It doesn't. It looks weird. It doesn't look right. Watching it last night, it was better than I remembered.
Yeah.
That's how I felt, yeah.
It was pretty cool. Like watching it from the viewpoint that we're trying to take. You know, watching it as a movie.
Yeah, as a movie.
Right. Yeah.
Splinter did a lot of rat-splaining.
Yeah, there was a lot
Don't
of
rat splain me.
Put that on a t-shirt.
He rat-splained Raphael about anger.
The worst is the rat spreading.
Rat's position.
Very bubonic.
He rat-splained Danny about fathers. In the end, he was rat-splaining Shredder about death and honor.
Yeah. They used him as exposition a lot.
But he was a wise rat, so you know he had advice to offer.
Well, and even in that case, they did show, not tell. You know, like there were the flashbacks of little, as opposed to April O'Neil at the farmhouse. Like, here, I'm going to explain a few things away in my diary. We're in love. Who saw that coming?
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting watching these all in order. It feels so 90s as compared to just the last couple movies.
Yeah.
Even Batman.
Yeah.
I mean,
Batman was getting there.
Batman was getting there, but it still was in the 80s. It felt 80s. This one just feels 90s. Like I just keep equating it with like The Simpsons and like Fido Dido and like
Yeah.
This is what I envision New York in the 90s looking
hypercolor.
like.
Yeah. Totally.
Ocean Pacific shirts.
Gotham is still just too dark for reality.
That's what I was going to say about Tim Burton. I mean, his worlds are out of time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, they exist.
Batman was made in the 80s, and you can tell. I know what you mean by that, but yeah.
But yeah, his worlds exist in their own world.
In their own
very
world and
snow
time,
globe-y.
yeah. You
Yeah.
can't say it's the 50s.
Whereas-
But then
it's
there's,
the 80s.
when we get to the Schumacher Batmans, those are very 90s.
Of their time. Yeah.
very
of
much.
their time, for sure.
Yeah, whereas this is also very much of its time.
Yeah.
In a way that a lot aren't. Like even Superman as 70s as that shit was still kind of out of time in a
Yeah,
way. Like
you're
it
right.
like it tried to feel like the 50s.
Roller skating backwards in in like an Uncle Sam costume.
Even though
That's very 70s.
Classic.
even though the Turtles originated in the 80s, they lent so much culture to the zeitgeist of the 90s.
Well, they were the
they
first.
definitely did. Yeah.
Okay, they were the first kind of Gen X,
Yeah.
like superhero team.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think overall, I think I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was fun.
Turtle power.
Yeah. What is the next movie? Because we're not. Oh, well, yeah, it would be Secrets of the Ooze, right? If it came out.
Well, no, there's one in between. The next movie we're watching, you mean?
Yeah.
Is not a turtle. We'll get to that. Let's rank this thing first. Then
Okay.
we'll. So okay.
We're still ranking.
So we have to rank. Yes, we're ranking them all. It's going to get harder and harder. It's going to start sucking. So so hey, Chico, I'll give you the rundown here on the rankings.
I'm ready.
All right. So at want me to start from the bottom or the top?
Well, I've got no perspective, so whatever you think is easier.
Okay. So okay.
Let's see if you can guess.
All right. So the worst movie we have, Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. Out of 17, it's at 17. Then Toxic Avenger Part 3. Then Toxic Avenger. Then The Punisher, 1989.
Okay.
Then The Toxic Avenger Part 2.
I'm still happy with that.
Then Howard the Duck, Condor Man, Hero at Large, Superman and the Mole Men, Supergirl, The Return of Swamp Thing, Superman 3. Now we got the top 5 coming up here.
Oh God.
Worst or best?
Best.
We're going
from
bottom,
worst
to best.
Worst to best. Okay. So number 5, we've got Superman 2. Number 4, Swamp Thing. Number 3, Batman 66. What do you think the top 2 are? Pre-1990.
Is it? So Batman '89's got to be one of those, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that one's out of the
We've
way.
got Batman 89 and Superman 78. Which is 1, which is 2?
Batman '89's got to be number 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
right.
So we have Superman
So-
at number 2 and Batman at number 1.
So how are you going to fit?
So yeah, right.
Exactly.
So what does all this data mean?
Yeah.
People aren't wearing enough hats.
Yeah.
So where do we want to start? Do we want to kind of like smack dab in the middle? Because I feel like this thing's kind of smack dab in the middle.
Let's use our machine.
Yeah, just
This is one of those where I'm like, I don't want to vote. It's terrible.
So
Okay.
what's at number 6 and 7?
number 6 is Superman 3. Number 7 is The Return of Swamp Thing. I think this is probably a better movie than The Return of Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how long it's been since you've seen Superman 3, Chico,
Oh man, I don't know if I have.
with Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
man. You'll
it's
love it.
something.
I want to watch Toxic Avenger now. Like I gotta
man.
go back through.
Be prepared.
Which one was the worst? 3?
Three
by
was
far the worst.
easily the worst.
But you gotta well,
Number 2 is the best.
yeah.
Number 2 is kind of a fun movie.
like the Batman movies, like the X-Men, like the original Spider-Man Raimi trilogy. Number 2 is the best.
Like The Godfather.
Yeah, number
The original Star
and
Wars.
Star Wars.
If
number
you
2 is
do
the
watch
best.
Toxic Avenger, you could just watch the third one because it recounts the second movie and the first movie.
There's whole sequences from the second movie that they take the exact footage and just put it into the third movie for like 5 minutes at a time.
but not
It's
the best
terrible.
parts.
Yeah, it's the worst parts of the movie.
Oh boy.
It's so bad.
All right.
Okay, so Superman 3, is this better than Superman 3?
Not to. Well, shoot. It might be a better movie, but it's
I
not.
think so. I
think it's better?
I
All right.
Because that movie was pretty rough.
Superman 3.
Yeah, 3 was
It
rough.
had it.
Prior was its saving grace.
Prior was
rough.
great to watch.
But you're right, yeah.
But if you take
It's a
Prior out of
superhero
it, it's
movie.
a pretty bad movie.
It is, yeah.
Superman 2. So
I don't want to put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles over Superman 2.
I agree.
I could do with that.
should we stick them in between the 2 and 3?
Wait, what's above 2?
Swamp Thing, the original.
Yeah, I like
Swamp
putting
Thing
this
is
below.
weirdly on our list. Yeah.
I fought hard to get Swamp Thing.
I know that's all Brian's doing. He was like, "No, it's good. Put it up there."
It was West Coast.
It was
great.
good.
Robert
It was
Wise,
good. It was a
Adrian
West.
Barbeau.
It deserves its place.
It does.
In
It
between
does.
the Superman.
I will be a third vote on your placement of this behind Superman 2.
All right, in between Superman 2 and 3.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it.
I have spoken.
Sound good, Chico?
It sounds good to me.
All right. There we are. We are putting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at number 6.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's getting exciting in here.
It is. And to answer your earlier question, Josh, next week we are going to watch and talk about 1990s Sam Raimi's Dark Man.
Dark Man. Yep.
Dark.
I remember really liking Dark Man. But
Sam
it's been a
Raimi's
while.
first superhero movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ash is a superhero.
Well, okay.
No, but I know. Yeah. This is. Yeah.
So Darkman's coming up next week. Then after Darkman, we've got the Turtles 2.
Go Ninja.
No.
Go Ninja.
After
go.
Darkman, it's the Rocketeer.
Oh.
Then after the Rocketeer is Ninja Turtles 2.
All right.
Mix it up a little bit.
Looking forward to the Rocketeer.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So yeah, Darkman next week, starring Sir Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon, Schindler.
I'm looking.
Schindler.
I'm looking forward to it. The last time I saw Darkman was I think about 7 years ago, or 6 or 7 years ago, and it.
Why so memorable?
Because I was watching it in Mickey's garage.
Oh, all right. I got you.
And it didn't quite hold up, but it was so much fun. It was good.
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna
remember
be
liking
fun.
it. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Last time I saw Darkman was probably 1992.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's been a while for me. So all right, everybody. Thank you all for listening to Harmless Phosphorescence. This has been Gackface, Thoreau Smiley.
My name is Josh Cece, and my ear is open for you to use.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I'm gonna go dream of Harrison Ford.
Michael Chico, or should I just say Chico? And I enjoy Casey Jones' neck rubs.
I'm Alaric Weber. I lost a sigh.
Sigh.
Sigh. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Harmless Phosphorescence was brought to you by executive producer Atticus Burkett, producers Michael Beckwith, Jojo Birchtree, Hedda Paulson, Kirsten Reed and Alyssa Dent, and Katie and Finn Thorpe. Make sure to rate and review us on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Harmless Phosphorescence is a part of the Harmless Entertainment Network. Become a patron at patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. Thank you for listening.